This is chapter 52, Effective Recruitment. Different job roles and responsibilities. There are a variety of different job roles that can be found within a large organization. The key job roles and their main responsibilities include Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer, which is CEO, ultimately responsible for the performance of the business and is the public face of the organization. The board of directors report to the managing director. Directors, some directors will be responsible for the department or functional area. For example, the finance director and together will form the board of directors who manage the company and decide on its strategy, future direction. Some directors are appointed to oversee the plans and policy of the business. Managers responsible for implementing the strategy decided by the directors. In a large organization, there may be several levels of management in the hierarchy. Senior managers will directly report to the directors and may have a team of middle and junior managers reporting to them. Team leaders, supervisors help managers to achieve their goals and take routine day to day decisions. They pass on information and manage small teams or operations or shop floor workers. Operational staff are not responsible for any other staff. They perform basic operational functions that allow the business to keep running efficiently, such as production line workers and shop floor staff. Support employees and functional areas found within the organizational structure. Support staff may have specialist knowledge and skills, such as IT staff, although others may include less specialist roles such as cleaning, catering, and caretaking staff. How business recruit people. Recruitment and selection is the process of finding and choosing someone to fill a job vacancy from a number of applicants who have applied for the job. Job vacancies can arise in an organization to deal with expansion. Existing staff have left due to reasons such as gaining a promotion in another organization, retirement, moved out of the area, or have left to have children. The Human Resource Department is usually responsible for the recruitment and selection of employees within an organization. Following the main stages in the recruitment and selection process: conduct a job analysis, create a job description, draw person specification, internal, external recruitment, advertise position, receive applications, long list, short list applicants, interview and other methods, selection and request references, send offer rejection letter, issue contract of employment. Job analysis. The first step in the recruitment and selection process is to conduct a job analysis. This is where an existing job which is now vacant will be broken down into its component parts to identify whether it is still needed within the organization or whether any changes need to be made to it. If the business is expanding, the job analysis will enable the business to know exactly what the new position within the business will involve. A job analysis is therefore the collection and interpretation of information about a job and the skills required by an individual to perform the specific job. This information will feed into the job description and person specification to ensure that the correct person for the job is eventually appointed to fill the vacancy. Job description. The job description contains basic information about the job itself. It is drawn up specifically from information from the job analysis. It includes information regarding the title of the job, main duties, responsibilities, hours and location of work, details of line manager and any staff the recruit would be directly responsible for. Applicants will ask for this document when applying for a job vacancy. It is therefore important that it is sufficiently detailed, as this will help to prevent unsuitable candidates applying for vacant positions. Person specification. The person specification provides a detailed description of the skills, attributes, and qualifications that are required by an employee to successfully fill a vacant position. These details may be broken down into essential and desirable. In other words, those skills or qualifications that applicants must have to gain the post, and those that would be a nice to have. A person specification might include factors such as educational and vocational qualifications, experience of operating certain IT systems, person characteristics such as the ability to work in a team. Advertise vacant position. Job advertisements tend to include the following information: job title, location of the job, pay, working hours, brief information about the business, how to apply, closing date for applications. It is important that job advertisements are carefully constructed to ensure that they do not break any discrimination laws. They also need to be placed appropriately to attract suitable applicants to the job vacancy. Application process. People who are interested in applying for a job will need to provide the business with details about themselves to convince the employer that they fit the person's specification adequately enough and therefore deserve to move on to the next stage of the recruitment process. This information can be provided in the form of an application form. These are produced in a standard format by the business. Each applicant will complete the return and return the form to the potential employer. It will contain sections regarding personal information, education and qualifications, employment history, references, and any other general information that the business wishes to collect from the applicant at this stage of the recruitment process. A curriculum vitae: sometimes businesses do not provide a set application form and ask applicants to send in their own curriculum vitae, often with a covering letter. The curriculum vitae will contain similar information to an application form, but each candidate will have the freedom to lay out the CV in a way he she wishes, as well as include any other information that they feel is relevant to the post. Long and shortlisting: after the closing date for the job vacancy has passed, the applications received will be reviewed carefully against the person's specification and job description, and a long list will first be compiled. At this stage, the applicants that would be seen as unsuitable for the vacancy will be removed. A short list of the most suitable candidates will then be created from the long list, from which the successful applicant will ultimately be chosen. The shortlisted applicants will all progress to the next stages of the selection process. Selection and request references. There are many different methods of selection that organizations can use to choose the most appropriate candidate for the vacant post, such as interviews. Different types of interviews exist, such as one-to-one or panel interview. Interviews involve candidates being asked a series of questions, such as questions to confirm details on an application form and asking how the candidate would react in a specific situation. Questioning is a two-way process, which means the candidate will have an opportunity to ask questions as well as the interviewer. Psychometric tests focus on the personality of candidates to assess whether the candidate would fit in with other staff within the organization. Assessment centers, where candidates are invited to complete a number of different selection activities throughout the course of a day or a number of days. Activities can include different interviews, psychometric testing, role plays, presentations, and problem solving exercises. These are expensive and are usually reserved to managerial posts. At this stage, references may be requested to help the business choose the best applicant to fulfill the vacant job role. Applicants will nominate one or two people that they are happy for the organization to contact to provide details about their strengths and qualities. Inform candidates of decision. Once the most appropriate candidate has been selected, he/she will be informed by letter or telephone of the outcome of the selection process. The business may have a backup candidate in case the first choice decides not to accept the job offer, and at this point, the job can be offered to the reserve candidate. This plan will remove the need for the business to start the recruitment and selection process again if the first choice candidate refuses, as this would prove to be very costly and time consuming. Contract of employment. An employer must give employees a document stating the main conditions of employment as soon as they start work for an organization. The main employment contract must then be provided within 2 months of a new member of staff starting their employment. A contract of employment is a legal document that sets out the conditions of employment for each member of staff. Contracts of employment contain details of job title, job description and duties, start date of the work and potentially end date if the position is temporary, normal working hours, place of work, rates of pay, holiday entitlement, details of sick pay and pension, information on disciplinary procedures, lengths of notice needed if the employee wants to leave. Recruitment methods used to meet different needs. There are two main ways in which businesses seek to recruit: internal and external recruitment. Internal recruitment is when the business fills a job vacancy with an existing member of staff. However, if the business is new or no suitable internal candidates are available within an organization, then the business will need applicants from outside of the firm to apply for the vacant post. This is called external recruitment. In many cases, both internal and external recruitment methods are used for the firm to find the most suitable candidate to fill a job vacancy. Internal recruitment is when a job vacancy is filled by an existing member of the workforce. The vacancy can be communicated to staff in several different ways, such as via the organization's intranet, internal email, or displayed on a notice board. Advantages: cheap and quick compared to external recruitment. Applicants already familiar with the business and will know the procedures, policies, and systems. Less risk, as the business already knows the strengths and weaknesses of each internal candidate. Disadvantages: limits the number of potential applicants. No new ideas can be introduced from outside the organization, potentially created another vacancy that will need filling. External recruitment: when a job vacancy is filled by a member of staff that does not already work within an organization. Popular methods of external recruitment include advertising. The most common form of external recruitment includes advertising in newspapers, on the internet, and the radio. The method that is chosen by a business would depend upon factors such as cost and type of job vacancy. For example, an advert for staff to deliver morning newspapers may just be found on a card in the window of the shop that is looking to recruit new workers. Job Center Plus, a government funded employment agency that helps people prepare for, find, and stay in work, branches are found throughout the UK. Recruitment agencies, privately owned organizations that provide businesses with details of suitable candidates for job vacancies. Businesses will pay the recruitment agency a fee for the use of their services. Recruitment agencies may also be involved in the initial selection process to help the business fill job vacancies more quickly. Personal recommendation: an existing member of staff recommends a potentially suitable candidate for the job vacancy, possibly in return for some reward. Social media such as LinkedIn and Facebook is increasingly being used by businesses to appoint new members of staff. This can reduce the cost of recruitment and selection. Advantages of external recruitment: wider choice of applicants, potentially higher quality candidates to choose from with fresh ideas. Candidates may immediately possess the necessary skills and knowledge to fulfill the role without additional training being provided. Disadvantages: the selection process may not be effective enough to reveal the best candidate, more expensive than internal recruitment. Externally advertising vacancies can be costly. Existing staff may resent with being overlooked for promotion in an external candidate if an external candidate is selected to fill the new post.